Hello. In this video, we will show you how to complete part 3 of a resume, work experience. In this part of the resume, job seekers list job titles, their current and former employer names, locations, dates of employment, and a brief description of the job duties they had. Some job seekers call this part experience, so that they can include volunteer work, in addition to paid jobs. No matter what you call it, this section of your resume is the part that future employers focus on most to decide if a candidate is a good match for the position. It is important that job seekers are honest in the description of their duties because hiring officials often check with past employers. Because a resume is only 1 or 2 pages long, it may not be possible to list all of your experiences. You will need to choose the ones that best show your skills for the job. Job seekers list their experience in reverse chronological order. This means they start with their current or most recent job, then the list continues backwards by time order. Each entry is separate, but contains all of the following information: job title, employer name, location, dates of employment, and a brief description of the job duties. Here is Tomoko's resume and description of her experience. As you can see, she listed 3 separate experiences, one of which is a volunteer job. Look at the first experience. On one line, she lists the job title, office assistant, then the employer and the location together, University of California English Language Programs, followed by the years of employment, 2009 to present. The next lines are verb phrases that clearly describe what she does or did. Notice the use of present tense verbs because this is her current job. You should also notice that the verbs used are called action verbs because they clearly explain what a person is doing. Her verb choices, manage, develop, and train, are actions that also show some of her skills as an employee. From this list, an employer would learn that she has computer skills and she can work well with a lot of other people. We will learn more about action verbs in video 8. When describing experience, many job seekers use a bullet list of 3 to 5 lines. There is no punctuation at the end because these are not complete sentences. It is important to be as clear and detailed as possible, but in a small amount of space. Remember that employers want to know how you are different from other candidates. Think about what you have done well in past experiences and include those details with strong verbs. For example, did you make your company more efficient or organized? For example, look at Tomoko's second experience as a program assistant. You can see that she has arranged special events and organized the office to be more efficient. These actions show the reader that she is well organized. This is an example of personal trait skill that is valuable to many employers. Let's review what you should include in part 3 work experience. Begin with your current or most recent job and continue to list experiences backwards in time order. For each experience that you include, write the job title, the employer name, location, date of employment, and a brief description of the job duties. Next, you can practice organizing a resume with a game, ordering the chronology.
In this video, we'll be talking about the fourth part of a resume, education. This part of the resume is very important for current students, recent university graduates, or people with little work experience. For people with a lot of work experience, the education section shows that they meet the required education level. Job advertisements usually have a required degree as part of the qualifications for the job. Job seekers list each educational experience they have had and include the name of the school, the location, the degree received, major or subject of specialty, and the year of graduation. Those who received high grades or special honors during their education sometimes include those awards in this section. The development of the education part of the resume often shows future employers your academic performance, management and technical abilities, and general areas of interest. There are many kinds of degrees that are included in the education section. The most common types of degrees in the United States are 1. AA or AAS, which is Associate of Arts or Associate of Applied Science. These are 2-year degrees from community colleges and technical schools. 2 is BA or BS, Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science. These are typically 4-year degrees from a college or university. 3, MA or MS, Master of Arts or Master of Science. These are graduate level degrees from a university. Number 4 is MBA, Master of Business Administration. This is a graduate degree in business from a university. And 5 is PhD. A doctorate degree is the highest level degree from a university. Like the work experience section of a resume, job seekers list their educational history in reverse chronological order, beginning with the most recent or current degree program. Here is an example job seeker, Michael Johnson, who attended 1 university and earned 2 degrees. Notice how he begins with the name of the school and the location, that's city and state. In this example, he attended Cornell University in the city of Ithaca in the state of New York. On the next line, he lists his most recent degree, an MBA in General Management, which he completed in 2015. This is a graduate-level master's degree in business administration with a special focus or major in general management. Next, he lists his BA in sociology, which he completed in 2009. His Bachelor of Arts degree is a 4-year degree in sociology, is the subject area that he studied most. After listing the degrees, Michael includes an award that he earned in 2008 and 2009. In United States universities, Dean's List awards go to students who received very high grades at the end of the academic year. Many people put this information in their resume to show that they were very successful in their courses. Let's review part 4 of the resume, education. In this section, job seekers show each educational experience separately in reverse chronological order. Each entry must include the name of the school, the location, the degree received, major or subject area, and the year of graduation. The addition of awards or honors is not required, but does provide good information about a future employee. Job seekers include all of their education to show that they meet the required education level for the position. Being very successful in one's education often means that a job seeker is serious and a hard worker. Now, we will move on to the next video, which will help you to learn how to use action verbs to describe your experience very clearly.
Hi again. In this video, we are going to look at what we call action verbs. These are verbs that you should use throughout your resume so you are a more attractive candidate to an employer. We will look at some examples of these verbs and see how we can use them in your resume. We use action verbs in our resumes because they are more specific verbs. They tell the employer a lot about what you do or did in your jobs than general verbs do. For example, if I said, worked at X company or did sales at Y company, that doesn't really tell the employer very much. The verbs are too general or unspecific. However, if I change worked to developed a project at X company, where develop means to grow something, and I can change did to increased sales at Y company, where increase means to make bigger, now it sounds much better. I have a more active role rather than a passive one. I am more in control. Action verbs are usually grouped together by job or skill type. Since many jobs require you to have multiple skills, you will probably be choosing action verbs from different skill types. There are lots of action verbs to choose from, but for our purposes today, we are going to look at a shorter list. As I mentioned earlier, if we choose the verb do or make, it is too general. But we could use a more specific verb like developed or increased. Likewise, I could say in my resume, I wrote a proposal, where proposal means a plan. However, what if I use a more specific verb such as drafted, which means to prepare an early version of a text? So now I write, I drafted a proposal, or I could say I edited a report, where the verb edit means to correct or change a written document. I could also use a general verb like talk, as in I talked with a customer, or I could use a more specific verb like I negotiated with a customer, where negotiate means to try to reach an agreement. Or I corresponded with a new customer, where the verb correspond means to write and respond to communication. I hope you can see how not only are my choice of verbs more specific, but they, more importantly, make my role in this job sound more active. In this video, we looked at action verbs and highlighted their importance when writing your resume. We talked about how using action verbs is much better than general verbs, as they make you sound a more skilled and accomplished worker. Next, we'll play a game to practice using action verbs.